Do you know your English level? Are you an A1, A2, B1, B2, or maybe even C1 plus? Well, many people are unsure, and in particular at the moment, now that I'm teaching my own group classes for B1, B2, and C1 levels, people want to know, what level am I? That's why in this video, I'm going to do a short English level test based on vocabulary and grammar, and there will be 10 multiple choice questions for B1 levels, B2 levels, and C1 levels. That makes 30 questions in total. And if you're interested in signing up for my group classes, then I'll leave a link in the description. Number 1, which sentence is correct? She don't like coffee. She doesn't likes coffee. She doesn't like coffee. She don't likes coffee. Yes, C is correct. She doesn't like coffee. Number 2, choose the correct verb form. Yesterday, a great movie on TV. See, saw, seen, seeing. Yesterday, I saw a great movie on TV. What is the opposite of cheap? Expensive, heavy, large, dangerous. The opposite of cheap is expensive. Choose the correct word. I feel very before an exam. Relaxing, relaxed, nervous, bored. The correct answer, I imagine, is I feel very nervous before an exam. Complete the sentence. He didn't go to work because he sick. Were, was, is, be. He didn't go to work because he was sick. Which sentence is grammatically correct? If I will have enough money, I buy a car. If I had enough money, I would buy a car. If I had enough money, I will buy a car. If I have enough money, I would buy a car. The correct answer is B. If I had enough money, I would buy a car. Second conditional. Choose the correct preposition. She is interested learning a new language. At, in, on, for. She is interested in learning a new language. Select the correct sentence. The weather is too cold to go outside. The weather is too cold for go outside. The weather is too cold, go outside. The weather is too cold to going outside. The correct answer is A. The weather is too cold to go outside. Which sentence means the same as she started working here in 2015? She has worked here since 2015. She worked here since 2015. She has been worked here since 2015. She was working here since 2015. The correct answer is A. She has worked here since 2015. The present perfect shows that it started in the past and continues until the present. Choose the correct phrasal verb. He is really looking to his holiday next week. For, forward, at, after. He is really looking forward to his holiday next week. To look forward to something is to be excited about it. And if we use a verb, it is ing. I'm looking forward to going on holiday. So there we have our 10 questions for B1 level. Let me know, how many did you get right? I reckon if you're getting 8 out of 10, then you can safely say that you have a B1 level. It's a bit cold, it's a bit nippy, so I've just come inside to record the next part. And these are 10 more questions, but this time for B2 level. Are you ready? Let's find out if you have a B1 or a B2 or even a C1 plus level. Which sentence is in the passive voice? They built this bridge in 1950. This bridge was built in 1950. They have built this bridge in 1950. This bridge built in 1950. Of course, B is correct. This is the sentence in the passive voice. This bridge was built in 1950. Choose the correct word. The company is trying to its environmental impact. Increase, decrease, enlarge, encourage. The company is trying to decrease its environmental impact. That way it has less negative impact on the environment. Choose the correct relative pronoun. That's the man stole my wallet. Who? Whose? Which? Whom? That's the man who stole my wallet. By the way, native English speakers never ever use whom when they're actually speaking, so just forget about it. Select the correct sentence. I wish I knew how to play the piano. I wish I know how to play the piano. I wish I can play the piano. I wish I knows how to play the piano. The correct answer is A. I wish I knew how to play the piano. After wish, when speaking about states or abilities, we use the past simple. I wish I knew how to speak Arabic. Choose the correct modal verb. You be at least 18 to vote in the election. Can, must, should, could. You must be at least 18 to vote in the election. Must and have to are practically the same. You have to be at least 18. What does break down mean in this sentence? My car broke down on the way to work. It stopped working. It was stolen. It ran out of petrol. It went faster. If your car breaks down, it means that it stops working. So A, it stopped working. It broke down. Choose the correct sentence. Despite she was tired, she continued working. Although she was tired, she continued working. However she was tired, she continued working. Because she was tired, she continued working. B is correct. Although she was tired, she continued working. Despite has to be followed by a noun or an ing. So you could say, despite being tired, she continued working. Complete the sentence. By the time we arrived, the party already finished, had already finished, has already finished, already finished. By the time we arrived, the party had already finished. B. This past perfect showed that this event finished and then you arrived. Choose the correct expression. I'm not really sure, but I think she's from Spain. She must be from Spain. She can't be from Spain. She might be from Spain. She will be from Spain. If you're not sure but you have an idea, in this case we would use might. C. She might be from Spain. Because you're not sure, but you think so. Select the correct sentence. If I knew his number, I would call him. If I know his number, I would call him. If I knew his number, I will call him. If I would know his number, I will call him. A is the correct answer. If I knew his number, I would call him. Second conditional again. My favorite. Well done everybody for getting this far. There you have the last 10 questions, which are more or less a B2 level. And again, let me know from these 10 questions, how many did you get right? Again, I think if you're getting 7 or 8, then you can safely say that you have a B2 level. But that's not all, because we're moving on to the final round, which is 10 questions, which should evaluate more or less if you have a C1 level. So let's give it a go. Which sentence uses an inversion correctly? Hardly I had arrived when the meeting started. Hardly had arrived I when the meeting started. Hardly had I arrived when the meeting started. Hardly had I arrived when the meeting started. Which one sounds the best? Which is the correct inversion? It is D. Hardly had I arrived when the meeting started. What does bear in mind mean? Forget, consider, ignore, refuse. Bear in mind is like saying consider. Don't forget. Take into account. Bear in mind that this is just a short multiple choice quiz. It's not going to be an accurate representation of what level you have. But it's good to have an idea. And I hope it's enjoyable too. But yeah, bear in mind that if you want to properly know your level, you'll probably have to do an exam. Or book some classes with me. Select the correct option. The government needs to take action to address climate change. Decisive, deciding, decided, decision. The government needs to take decisive action to address climate change. Choose the best option. If I known about the event, I would have attended. Have, would have, had, will have. If I had known about the event, I would have attended. Here we have a third conditional, past perfect, and then would have past participle. If I had had lunch, I wouldn't have been so hungry. Which sentence is grammatically correct? I regret telling you you failed the exam. I regret tell you that you failed the exam. I regret to telling you that you failed the exam. I regret to tell you that you failed the exam. The last one is correct. I regret to tell you that you failed the exam. If we use regret plus to plus infinitive, it's like saying I'm sorry to tell you. We can also use regret plus ing, but in that case you are speaking about your regrets. I regret going to university. Select the best sentence. Not only does she speak Spanish, but she also speaks French. Not only she speaks Spanish, but she also speaks French. Not only does she speak Spanish, but she also speaks French. Not only she does speak Spanish, but she also speaks French. Here we have another inverted sentence, and it's used to give more emphasis. The correct answer is A. Not only does she speak Spanish, but she also speaks French. What does call it a day mean? Stop working for the day? Work overtime? Start a new job? Postpone something? I'm sure you guys know this because I love teaching idioms and expressions. Call it a day means stop working for the day, or at least stop working on a specific activity for the day. 3 more questions, then I'm going to call it a day. Choose the correct word to complete the sentence. Phrasal verbs, yay! The proposal was due to lack of funding. Turned down, put off, put out, set up, carried out. Decisions. The proposal was turned down due to lack of funding. Because to turn down means to reject or deny. Conditionals. Select the correct conditional sentence. If she would have studied, she would have passed the exam. If she had studied, she will have passed the exam. If she studied, she would have passed the exam. If she had studied, she would have passed the exam. The correct answer is the last one, third conditional. If she had studied, she would have passed the exam. Easy peasy. A piece of cake. Final question. Choose the correct sentence. He had his car repaired last week. He has his car repaired last week. He had repaired his car last week. He was having his car repaired last week. The correct answer is A. He had his car repaired last week. We use this structure when we want to show that you paid someone to do a job for you. I had my walls painted last year, for example. There we go, there we go. So there you have all 30 of the questions. 10 questions for B1 level, 10 questions for B2 level, and finally 10 questions for C1 level. And let me know in the comments, how did you do? What was your total mark out of 30? And if you want to specify, what did you get in the B1 section, the B2 section, or the C1 section? As I said, this is just to give you a rough idea. If you'd like to know exactly your level in English, then you can book a class with me, but also you can send me an email at lewis@englishwithlewis.com, and you can send me a voice note and I can assess your level in a little bit more detail. But I hope you enjoyed this video, slightly different to test your level in English with lots of multiple choice questions. And yeah, if you'd like me to do some more, let me know. So thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.